Real good.
Hey, I fucking hate cicadas. God, fuck, I hate these motherfuckers. But here's the thing. I hate cicadas for the wrong reason in comparison to other people hating cicadas right now,
what's
okay?
a good reason to hate cicadas?
Okay, people are hating cicadas because they're annoying, they're everywhere, and everything, right?
Uh-huh.
I hate them for the wrong reason, alright? I hate them due to the fact that I can't pull down my window while I'm driving. That is the reason why I hate cicadas.
Oh, no, yeah, you know what? You're right. That did happen to me at one point.
Right, so here's the thing. I don't like using my car's AC, alright? There's nothing wrong with my car's AC. It's perfectly fine. It perfectly works and all that. So it gives me cold air. It gives me hot air as intended, right? It's not busted. It doesn't give you like weird filter air. I just like to drive with my car window down. I like the fresh polluted air of Earth, alright?
Yeah.
Alright? Rather than this manufactured air that my car gives me, alright?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm really annoyed because here's the thing about cicadas. They're fucking dumb. They're the dumbest motherfucking insect to have ever goddamn live, alright?
I mean, okay. I sense some vitriol here, but alright, sure.
Alright, these goddamn, they unlike other insects who knows to avoid a fucking car, right? If an insect see a car, like, oh boy, that's a car. We know what the concept of a car is within bug society.
I don't think
we
they
know to avoid that stuff.
They just think they're big
right? But fucking
animals or
cicadas,
something.
right? Here's the thing with cicadas. They only come out every 17 years. So the next generation of cicada doesn't know anything about a car. So when they come, they just ignore every fucking, they're like, hey yo, what's this giant mechanical being? Because within the Cicada Society, we have the concept of machinery and the industrial age, alright?
Yeah, okay, sure, alright, yeah, that's exactly
Yeah, so they see a car, they just ignore that shit. I don't give a fuck, I'm just gonna fly right there. There's so many fucking cicadas hitting my windshield as I fucking drive. It's actually crazy how much these motherfuckers will just fucking will fly straight into a car and everything.
I mean, it's not as bad as the last 17 years. Like 17 years ago, that was a lot worse.
Oh yeah, 17 years ago. Yeah, but you know how I know these cicadas are the dumbest fucking things ever, right?
Oh sure, go ahead.
So a week ago or two ago, I was driving. I was at a light, all right. I had my windows up, obviously, because I didn't want these motherfuckers to fly into my goddamn car, right? Alright, but that's not the point. So I was looking over my shoulder, looking at the car next to me. Right, I see a cicada fly onto the tires, right? It's just chilling and relaxing there, right? The light turns green, and the car starts moving forward. And I'm just staring at this kid, alright, he's gonna fly off, right? So you know what I mean of the Anakin and Padme right now? That's me going around the internet. It's like this kid, I landed on the tire. I'm Padme. You're gonna fly off, right? Zoom back at the cicada. Staring at me. Zoom back at me. You're gonna fly off, right? I just watch as this cicada on the tire. Just don't like ask the right? So as you know, a wheel is a circular object, right? 360, right? Yeah. So when one point goes forward, it will go completely around, right?
Yeah.
So this is a fucking dumbass cicada on the goddamn wheel, right, as it moves forward, right? Does not get off. It literally got crushed. I was like, I've never seen a cicada get crushed by a car like that before. I seen them hit my cars because they're the dumbest motherfuckers that ever lived. But Jesus Christ, I was like, then I forgot that the light also turned green for me too.
Yeah, but you just stuck watching it.
I legitimately thought that thing was gonna fly off. No, it literally just stood there as the wheel moved forward and it got crushed to death. And I was like,
That's amazing. Oh my god.
I was like, wow, you're a stupid fucking idiot creature. No wonder your society only gets born every 17 years.
Yeah, they only live for like 5 weeks until they just die, you know.
Oh yeah, fucking I hate this. Here's the thing. How the fuck are cicadas born every 17 years? Do they burrow?
Burrow would be correct. Yeah.
Do they burrow their eggs so deep that it doesn't get disrupted for 17 years?
To be fair, it's legit a thing. They actually burrow them rather deeply, so that's just like, oh well, nothing's really gonna fucking bother them, you know.
Oh, because I was thinking about that today. How the fuck are cicadas not a dead species, right? Like there's no way nothing should be able to incubate for 17 years and then to come out. And then to come out and then fly straight to a fucking car because the fucking last gen doesn't write a note down saying, hey, when you wake up, avoid cars.
I don't think they have the concept of written
society,
speech,
right? They have paper and pencils. All right, here's the thing, right? 17 years ago, Cicada Society filmed everything on stupid flip phones, all right? They don't have the concept of smartphones. They should have recorded everything on a smartphone.
What kind of society do you think they live in for a book to have a phone? What society do you think they have? You think there's a whole bunch of fucking weebs or like fucking stay inside all indoors like their whole fucking life and then they come out?
I assume the cicadas are stuck in the year 2000, alright? Alva Levine is still on the air. Everybody's a big fan of Britney. And you seen that? These are the cicadas when they came out like, hey, what do you think happened at the end of Lost?
I swear to God.
Is Lost still going on?
Lost still going on.
I hope that Lost doesn't end as a dream sequence. That would be the worst ending ever. And I hope no other TV series would at that time have an even worse ending than Lost.
Oh my God. Yeah, but that's just okay. So what? Okay, hear me out. What if this is what happens? Okay, what if instead of like the cicadas being stuck in 2000s, what if they're already more advanced than us and they just send out their rejects? What if they have a pure utopian society?
Do you think cicada are so buried underground? There's like a secret cicada society underground.
Yeah, you know how people think that there are mole people? Well, they're wrong. It was never mole people. It was always Cicadian people. All right. It was always the Cicadians. Jesus. They were just like fucking. They have a purely utopian society, but for them to operate. But as with every utopian society, there's always a dark side. They keep it utopian by sending out the rejects, the homeless.
No, and these rejects are the dumbest motherfuckers ever, who's never fucking heard of a car tire, and it's just fucking
because the thing is, they keep those families down because they don't give them an education. Austin. That's why they don't know shit. All right. That's the thing. That's what happened, Austin. That's the truth. That's the truth of society.
So basically, these rejected cicada people are the nobody of their society.
I mean, you say that, but in context with the film, they can't do shit, man. All they do is roll over and die. That's legit what they do when they're in danger. They just pretend they're dead.
That's what I witnessed. Hey, we're talking about nobody.
We're talking about nobody. Also, again, legit. This is a thing. Apparently, cicadas pretend they're dead, and then once they're like, oh no, I'm in danger. They have to work really hard to roll themselves back onto their legs. But in that time, they might as well just be dead because then like a bird will just come in and just like fucking eat them.
Oh yeah. Chief was talking about that, how fucking birds are just over fucking exploding for the fact they keep eating all these goddamn cicadas.
Yeah, they're having a feast today, man. They're enjoying their lunch and dinner and breakfast every single day. Mm-hmm. You think birds get sick of foods that they eat over and over again?
No.
I mean, probably. I don't know, man. Cicada doesn't probably. Oh, anyway, no. Hold on. I'm getting too much of the cicada shit. I just realized. Yeah, so we watched Nobody. Fucking.
Yeah, hey, Nobody. Yeah, good movie. I like this movie.
Bob Odenkirk and a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah. Was that? Yeah, I was like, was that expected as well for Bob Odenkirk? All right.
I mean, I didn't expect Christopher Lloyd in here. Good lord, he just kind of popped it out.
Yeah, that was weird too. I was expecting, because when I was watching the movie, they showed the credits first. Right? I was at the credits. Yeah, that's some credits. Then it showed Christopher Lloyd. I was like, what? Christopher Lloyd? What the fuck he's doing in here?
Yeah, I know.
I was like, what?
Just fucking look at I didn't know. So when I saw him on screen, like, what the fuck? Christopher Lloyd's in here? I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah, but hey, Christopher Lloyd's old now.
Yeah, he's old.
Well, Back to the Future is like 40 years old.
Is it? Oh shit! What the fuck?
Oh, that's the worst part. That's the worst part. We'll never experience Jaws 17 in theaters.
God damn it. Anyway, before we get into it, I suppose it's...
Alright, that was a good cicada rap.
What? I'm surprised how, I swear to God, every bit's gonna get longer and longer. We won't even be intentionally doing it. This is unintentional. I don't understand how we get this much fucking mileage out of a fucking bit. Remember?
Hey, look. To be fair, at least with that cicada, it hasn't been as stupid as our other discussion.
I mean, you talking about the vampires?
Oh yeah, the Vampire Society and the sock puppet and the magician and all that stuff, right? All those things that definitely exist.
Exactly. I like to think that they're only gone now because of the cicadas. They're the natural predator of vampires.
Cicadas.
I can't even take that seriously because they're so fucking dumb.
This game worse.
Cicadas are so fucking... What if they're so dumb that vampires just don't know how to deal with them and that's why they all die out, the fucking vampires from the cicadas?
Hold on. So we had that conspiracy with Big Sock and all these big companies. What if it's the Cicadian people underground that's controlling everything, alright?
It's not even the vampire. Like, the vampires thinking, oh yeah, we control everything. No, in secret, they're like puppets for the cicadas.
It's like how in Metal Gear, right? Right? There's the shadow organism, but then there's the shadow organism within the shadow that controls the shadow organism.
Yeah,
right?
That's too real.
The cicadas are the philosophers, right?
The philosopher's legacy and shit. Oh my god. And this turns out to just be cicadas this whole time.
It always has been the cicadas.
They're the patriots. What the fuck? Oh my god, I can't wait to see what their Cicadian AI do to kind of just fucking economize war. Anyway, anyway, so I'm gonna read to us a plot synopsis that is provided to us by the Wikipedia as per usual for the movie. I'm getting water. Yes, good lord, we did spend like 11. Yeah, we did spend 12 minutes just fucking talking about cicada.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Hutch Mansell is a seemingly ordinary man. He has 2 children with his wife Becca and has an unremarkable job as an office worker in his father-in-law Eddie's metal fabrication company. The tedium of his life is slowly grinding on him. One night, an armed man and woman break into his house and his son, Blake, tackles one of them. Hutch is reluctant to intervene and allows the thieves to leave. Okay. The incident causes everyone to think he is a failure. Hutch contacts his half-brother Harry on a hidden radio in his office and explains that he held back because the burglars were desperate, scared, and using an unloaded gun. Later that day, his daughter Sammy asks for help finding her missing kitty cat bracelet, wondering if the thieves took it. Without saying a word, he goes to see his elderly father, David, and borrows his old FBI badge and gun to track down the burglars. He finds their apartment and threatens them, but when he discovers their sick baby, he leaves, frustrated and guilt-ridden. The bus he takes home is suddenly stopped by a gang of thugs, and Hutch takes out his frustration by savagely beating them under the pretense of protecting a young woman. At home, he realizes he hasn't been actively communicating with his family and is inspired by his renewed self-esteem to reconnect with them. Harry then sends him to see a man referred to as the Barber, who provides Hutch with information about one of his victims. He is the younger brother of Yulian Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov? Okay, it's a little hard for me to pronounce. Sure. Look, stop. Look, don't. I know you're judging me. Stop it. A notorious Russian crime lord. In retribution, Yulian sends a crew led by his right-hand man Pavel to capture Hutch at home. However, Hutch hides his family and kills most of the attackers before Pavel tasers him. Finding a fire extinguisher in the trunk of a car he is locked in, Hutch uses it to crash the car, killing everyone. Then he sends his family away to safety before setting his house on fire to destroy any evidence. It is then explained that Hutch is a former auditor, an assassin employed by intelligence agencies to kill people who were considered untouchable. After letting one of his targets go free, Hutch found him a year later, reformed and happily living with his new family. Wanting a life akin to his, Hutch decided to retire against the wishes of his superiors and may have overcorrected his personality to fit his new life as a family man. After buying Eddie's company with a stash of gold bars, Hutch burns the abstract money Yulian was protecting for the mob. Yulian angrily pursues Hutch to the factory with his men, where David and Harry show up to help eliminate the gangsters using a variety of weapons and deadly traps Hutch had set up. They kill all the gunmen until only Yulian is left. Out of ammo, Hutch charges him with a claymore mine attached to a bulletproof shield and detonates it, killing Yulian. After ensuring that his father and brother escape, Hutch is arrested only to be quickly released with no charges filed. 3 months later, while buying a new house with Becca, Hutch receives a call suggesting that his services are still required. Okay. In a mid-credits scene, Harry and David are shown driving to an undisclosed location in an RV filled with guns. And that's the end of the synopsis.
Yeah. Alright. hey, I like this movie. It was a good movie. One of the better movies we've seen for this year so far.
Yeah, definitely. It's actually really fucking good. I don't know if there's supposed to be a lot of comedy in it though. I mean, there's some definite bits of comedy. I'm trying to like.
Yeah.
But like So I mean, the thing is, the comedy never.
Yeah, there's a lot of good small jokes in this movie.
There are some nice small jokes. There's the intentional. Oh yeah, no act. There's like he kind of knows. So it's like when you see that he knows the joke, you kind of accept it too. Where Hutch basically just. There's a sign like we've been this many days without an accident, and he just kind of wipes away the numbers and stuff, right? It's not disruptive. I don't know if this is a dark comedy of things. I never got the sense of it. Although if I remember correctly, was this released as a dark comedy? I don't remember if that was the case or not.
No. Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean, if anything, it's pretty good. It's very in line with the whole John Wick thing, except maybe it's a bit more... It's a bit rougher.
Comedic in nature? It has some more comedic nature.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more comedy in it. Again, we had that joke. There's you have to remind me of all the jokes in this fucking movie. God, what were the jokes in this movie? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of good jokes.
Yeah, we say good jokes, but we don't remember the good jokes.
What I mean, everybody remembers the good jokes.
Oh yeah.
Right. One of the best ones was when Bob Odenkirk's character was monologuing, right, and then in the middle of his monologue, the people who are already dead. That was a great joke. I like how they did it twice.
Yeah. The
right?
people
that was great.
He's just like explaining his fucking life story to like his dying enemy, and in the middle of it,
like these are important background information we're learning about his character, right? Uh-huh. Right, and it's real because his victims are already dead. It's like, oh, okay. So
it's really fucking great. Right? Yeah,
it's pretty much based on like standard character tropes. Well, tropes with an action film, like oh boy, right? Like when the hero or the villain have to explain their tragic backstory about how they got to that point, right?
Yeah, it's basically that. Yeah, I mean the thing is they have a good sort of comedy, like in what probably would have been a very dreary movie, Mm-hmm, but the comedy does set it apart, and it does it does lighten the mood somewhat. It's along the veins of John Wick. This movie aside from the comedy bits, this is more rather than a secret society. Well, I mean, sort of. He kind of is part of a secret.
There is a lot of secrets. There is like a lot of subtle world building lore placed into this movie, unironically, that I found very interesting. Yeah, right. It goes with so I'm not trying to make this a full comparison to John Wick, right, and everything, but because I want to. But they do have like these moments of like world building, right? One of the first instances I noticed was when he went to like the tattoo parlor or the last one. Right, mm-hmm. and he was like, it was being threatened by the guy, but the owner of the place, I guess, saw his tattoo, right, and then he just ran behind the door. We got like 30, like a whole entire minute of just like lock sounds. Yeah,
he's just fucking locking like 50 locks behind the door. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but it's a lot of locks for him to just like fucking lock up.
Yeah, and just for him to peel out, just for him to look out like that, like the eye hole, like that was a good moment. I enjoyed that moment. Like that was a good setup that they used with a good payoff.
Yeah,
right?
that was really good. Yeah.
Like, and it's like a really subtle world because we later learned that he has because he saw was it Hutch's tattoo? I think that's
Hutch. Yeah, Hutch. He has a tattoo of the two
he saw
cards,
Hutch's tattoo
right?
and everything,
mm-hmm.
right? Then he ran behind the door and everything. And they were like, "Oh boy, what's that deal, right?" Like, because he says thank you for his service. So he assumed that his character is just like your average ordinary military veterinary. Vet
mm-hmm.
and everything, but then we turned out later like, oh no, there's actually more to his story when there was like this random hacker girl who's trying to find out information about it, about his character's backstory, but then it says, no, can't do that, can't find out these illegal backstory and everything.
Yeah, until she just bribes like an FBI agent, I believe, or CIA.
Yeah, and that was a good moment.
That was
too,
great. He just
she just walks in and she's like, "Oh,
he's just fucking
I don't like this. I'm leaving.
Find me this information, or we release these photos." Just him in a BDSM session, like Jesus, fuck, dude.
Yeah. Fucking and then when she finally gets in, and then as soon as she gets it, she just fucking runs like, fuck this.
Yeah, if she sees how serious this guy is, like, oh, yep, nope, my life is more important than
I
this shit.
really like the subtle world building that they're building upon his character. They do end up expanding, so that was great.
It's enough to give you an impression, and the impression's all that you really need to kind of take away from it.
About this world and everything, like, because now I know what I know, because it's obvious that Hutch is like a secret. He's from like a secret organization, a secret shadow organization that nobody's supposed to know, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but why does this random guy in a tattoo parlor knows, right? Because at first he is played off as a joke, right? He's like, he sees that tattoo, then he hides behind like 1200 barrier and everything, right? And I was like, now I'm curious about this character's backstory. But not just Hutch's backstory, but like
the other character's backstory.
The tattoo parlor. Yeah,
if we had to give like an explanation, I mean, the thing is, I doubt they were gonna really go into the homeless vet's backstory real quick.
But it's very interesting as far as how much they thought about this character's backstory. It's
a thing. That's true too. But like, I'm thinking it's more along the line, at least in an explanation with the guy, the homeless vet. It's probably just because like, if you're in the military, you'll hear about certain things or operations. So he's like, oh yeah, there's these guys that, like, I don't know, they're probably spooks. I mean, this is just me just like really imagining how it might have gone, but it could just be a thing where the guy used to be, he was in the military, but then he heard about these auditors, and then he heard about how like he can identify them with a tattoo, and maybe that's how he knows. You know, but it's like, it's a subtle thing. It's a good way to kind of like show like, oh yeah, people are aware of this of what he is, you know, even though they're not aware of him, but they know what he does. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. I do like subtle world. That's why I like the first John Wick movie as well, because when the first John Wick came out, they had a lot of small world building concept that they didn't focus on until like the sequel came out, right? They just had like really subtle world building that gets you interest in this world that they're creating. I like what they did here too, with moments like that with the vet. Like I said, I really like that vet moment, because at first you just played off as a joke, right? Because the whole sequence of him just seeing the tattoo, then saying thank you for your service, and then just him barricading his doors, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you also get
like, it's just real funny, and then of course later on when you see involving when he actually explained his actual character backstory.
Yeah, but that's
right. Then you learned out why.
Yeah, but then you also get get those in a very more comedic take. So you know, it's again, it's just like, oh, you know, this is my reason for telling you the backstory. We'll do it a comedic take, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a nice way to kind of take in the information too, after you kind of go through like the rather intense killing scenes that we just had beforehand too. So the movie definitely has a nice sense of pacing in terms of when to keep it like, you know, action oriented, kind of to explore the character, or when to put in these subtle
when we should keep it
world building.
When should you keep the action, or when you should commit to like some comedy bits, right?
Yeah. I think like I'm hoping it doesn't go the way of John Wick, though. I'll be honest with you, because like I would like to see more from this from what they say this would have been a franchise. Because it's definitely good. I just hope it doesn't get as big as John Wick, because like, God, like John Wick is going in a direction where it's just kind of like very heavy-handed now, right? They're not like, the thing is. The problem with John Wick, at least from what I was saying, like the thing is they did a subtle world building and stuff, and that's great, right? It lets your imagination run wild in the sense of, oh, what could this be? What will this like? Is he like really that feared and stuff like that, right? Or, you know, basically stuff like that. And, you know, they mention names and stuff, but then they had to start like in the sequel. They start exploring the names, and then it's just kind of like, okay, this is kind of
it got too big.
Yeah, it gets too big.
It got too big too quick.
Yeah, and then you know, like that's why like I was fine with the second one, but the second John Wick movie, but the third one I'm just really starting to feel the what do you call it? The saturation? No. I think it's just really starting to become a lot.
The zealous?
It's not zealous, no. It's just really starting to become a lot, like how they build in the lore, and they're still trying to keep the mystique of things, you know? Like they had the whole thing, from what, if I remember correctly, where in the third movie, John is basically like running away in the desert or something, like to kind of talk with the boss and shit. I'm just like, they're doing that thing in a way to make it seem like, oh, you know, it's like a very big mysterious thing. But
they're progressing so fast with their world building that you, right?
Yeah, but it's like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because that's one big problem I had too with John Wick 3.
Yeah.
Even though I really liked that movie, was how they had the concept of high table, right? The big spooky high table, right? Like the shadow organization, right? The Patriots, that's what we call it, right?
The Cicadian Patriots.
But the problem is, because in that movie, they introduced I think what's the character? It wasn't Ruby Rose. No, Ruby Rose played the other character. The adjudicator. That character. I can't remember the actress name, but her role was like how she speaks for the high table, right? But in that same movie, you had John Wick meet like the overlord, like the guy who's even higher than the high table. It's like, oh, okay, well, she's not that relevant in terms of like a power right now, right? Because John Wick meant the big bad, because you had the high table, the council, right, who we don't know anything within the universe that you kept getting secrets about as the big bad. Like you build that up and stuff, but then all of a sudden you have him introduced like to the actual big bad, like the guy that sits at the actual highest chair of the organization to show up. I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't consider the rest of the organization that mysterious and threatening now that we show you the supposed leader of the organization, right?
Yeah, it's just like they try to seem bigger than they are, but when they show it, then it just doesn't feel as big or as important, and then it's basically like them trying to explain their concepts, and then showing it within the same movie or something. It doesn't work out too much. I don't know. I think it's just that the mystique of things worked a lot better, when it was, mysterious. But then once you start revealing, then it doesn't feel as big, and it doesn't feel as big as it was previously, basically.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they don't do that with Nobody. Again, there's a few disappointments I feel with Nobody, not in terms of really what we got, but more like what could have been, or at least what we could have explored. If only because for one thing, okay, so here's the thing, right? That I thought was a bit confusing. Was how he after he gets into the fight on the bus, right? And then he kind of goes up to his wife. He's like, "Oh yeah, basically I was out in a fight," and she's like, "Oh well, gotta get the stuff again, right?" But then later on, she just basically, "Oh look," she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know I didn't know you were in this kind of job to begin with." That's confusing, right? I thought she knew her, right? Yeah. But it
conflicts.
Yeah, it conflicts, right?
It conflicts with the impression of her character.
Yeah, it really kind of just okay. Because then later on, she's just confused, like, what the fuck is with this basement and shit, right? I also would have liked, at least, so her character is a bit inconsistent in that. She's not a very big, she's important to the character, but she's not really important to what we're seeing. I really wish that we got to see more of the family's reaction to what he did, because his son's impression of him after the first 10 minutes in the movie would have been very negative. But then I would have liked to have seen him just been befuddled by all what he would have seen the aftermath of what his father did. That would have been interesting to see. Well, the daughter, I understand why they didn't show her, any of that. But I would have liked to have seen what, a talk with between the Hugh and his son. Not Hugh, Hutch and his son. Yeah, that's the word. That's the thing. Definitely a lot of moments where they use music where in certain moments, fire. Then you have the roses, the rose song. I don't remember.
Look, don't you get the Doc? He's alive. He sent me this letter.
What the fuck?
Doc's alive.
Doc's alive. Yeah,
we gotta go back to the future. We gotta go back to the future. Part 3 now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we're definitely not a break in recording.
Yeah, definitely not.
We were definitely talking about Back to the Future beforehand and everything.
Yeah, but I will say though, his character was actually a lot better. I didn't expect him to do much with his character.
Look, I like Christopher Lloyd's character. Besides the fact I'm reminded that Christopher Lloyd is old now, and I'm really sad at that fact. I felt like his character, I feel like Christopher Lloyd, so Christopher is old. He doesn't have time for movies nowadays, right? Right. He's old, right? Right. I feel like he literally chose because he felt like, I get to shoot people. I like how Christopher Lloyd looked like he legitimately had fun in this filming this movie. All right,
he just gets to be
like, you could tell, just like the way that his character was interacting and everything. Christopher Lloyd looked like he had a blast filming this movie, which I really liked. Yeah, which I was a big fan of.
He really just looked like he was having fun blowing people up. That's basically what we're getting.
Yeah, because that's not something you see from the doc a lot. You know, him just shooting people like
him
that.
Shooting the shit out of people right in front of him. You know, all he had was shotguns. I don't understand how he just could just shoot them like that. Like, realistically, those guns have a lot of kick. I know it's a movie and stuff, but I was half expecting him to just kind of fall over from the fucking force of it. Holy shit, though. But yeah, he just looks to be having fun, like shooting people and having them blow up and stuff.
Yeah, like, oh boy, I get to have some action.
And he doesn't even have to do a lot either.
Yeah, which was really great. Yeah, because I like how once again, one of my favorite things in film is subversion and honest. I like how we just established Christopher Lloyd's character at the beginning as like this old man and everything, like, oh boy, right? We just assume he's like some weird guy not some old man Harry Potter.
Wait,
or fucking Hutch just
Where
goes
do you think
for advice.
Harry Potter shit came from? Where did that come from?
I knew it started with an H. I couldn't remember the name,
it's
alright? Right, so I just assumed Hutch was just visiting his dad and everything, you know, right? And then, but then found out later that Christopher Lloyd just died. He's okay with murder. He's a guy that's fine with murder, you know.
Yeah.
Right? It's once again, it's the war building part, right? Because they established early on when Hutch was going to his dad to take his badge and gun and everything, right? We just talked about we saw that he was in the CIA. I was like, all right, that's a nice little backstory about his character being in the CIA. And then it turns out, oh yeah, no, those CIA lessons really pay off, all right?
Yeah, they do. Wait, no, FBI lessons. What?
FBI. Yeah, that's
exactly,
right.
FBI. Yeah. Get your government organizations right, Austin. Get your lore right.
Well, one of these is being controlled by the Cicada organization, all right? That is made out of actual cicada.
If anything, do you think it starts with a C? I don't know. But the Circadian Intelligence Agency. Fuck, we were blind this whole time. Okay. So Christopher Lloyd's character is great. I mean, there's not a lot like where there's also Hutch's brother. I don't recall if he had a name. Harry, right? Yeah. Played by RZA.
Yeah.
But yeah,
which I like that they didn't keep as mysterious voice. I thought they were really just keeping his character as mysterious voice throughout the film. Then for him to actually appear, so I was like, oh, because I assumed he was gonna appear at some point. Because I thought the most optimal time for him to appear was after the house gets robbed and Hutch says like, oh yeah, hey, he tells us, hey kids, you're gonna go stay with your Uncle Harry. Or some shit for a while, you know, right?
You send them over to them, you know, just to keep them safe while he takes care of shit.
Yeah, like, that's what for some reason my brain thought was like, that was the way they were leading with this character. And everything. I either thought his character was going to show up to pick up the family and the kids, or he's going to tell his family and kids to go, hey kids, you want to stay a fun weekend at Uncle Harry? He lives in the woods, in a cabin, off the grid. Jesus. Here's his address.
He's like, watch out. He
whatever
might be
you do,
citizen.
don't drink the water he offers. It might be recycled.
Jesus, no, but like, I'm glad with the direction that they actually took his character. Maybe because he comes out and literally starts sniping people left and right, and it's just like fucking
I was
badass.
really so confused when Razz shows up and starts shooting people. I was like, oh fuck. Oh, it's the character Harry. It was just funny as fuck.
It's pretty fucking great. You do get some see some really fun scenes of some of the side characters. It's just like they do put some other side characters off to the side because they don't really matter or not. They're not that important, whatever. But like before we got with Hutch, his side of the family, and with like what little we get with like the Russians and stuff. Because really, it doesn't really explore. It's not a character exploration thing. It's more of them being like, oh, we have characters. These characters do have a kind of they have a character to them. They're not flat, but we're only really gonna really use it in a way to kind of explore people, the lore of the world and shit, right? And so that's where it's just like, hey, it's okay, it's fine. This is not a movie where you look for anything too deep, really. It's just it's a really fun.
Hey, I don't know. There's deep lore going on. You gotta look for that deep lore, you know. Inject me with that lore belt, with that world building.
Sure. But like, from what like it's just a movie where it's like you kind of just go along with it. You're there for the ride. It's just like the action doesn't really happen until like what 30 minutes in, maybe I think.
Yeah, 30 minutes into the film.
Yeah, because like it just kind of sets him up where he's just like, oh yeah, the incident happens. He decides to do something about said incident. And then after he does something about said incident, then people come in and then he gets to do basically beat up some people because he's kind of frustrated with life. And then that happens around like 30 minutes or so. So it's pretty fucking fun. Because oh my god, like that's the thing too. It's just like in John Wick, the action isn't brutal. It's more it's a lot more stylized, right?
More sequenized.
It really focuses on the gunplay and everything, and so it's like you don't really get anything where it's like breaking bones or stabbing or something like that. Maybe not until like the second John Wick movie, but it's just more about him being like it's more about John being really good with guns and then enjoying the action from that. And here though, this is a lot more for him. It's a lot more in your face kind of like it's a brutal street brawl or something like that, right? And and you can see it because like the thing is it's like Hutchins just gets roughed up, dude. He gets fucking roughed up. Like it's fucking wild. It's not as like nobody is probably in between ground from like if I had to put it like in the middle of John Wick on the left, right, and then Extraction on the right, where it's like John Wick, it's good for most everyone. Extraction, it can be a bit rough, that movie, because it's actually really fucking brutal in how they do their takedowns and everything. But then you get Nobody, which is kind of in the middle, right? Where it can be brutal as fuck, but it's not the roughest I've ever seen in an action movie like this, Again, the roughest I would say it would be like Extraction, but this works just fine.
Yeah.
This is oh god, because I'm rewatching the scene right now. I'm just remembering when there's the guy who pulls out a knife and he tries to strike at him, but then fucking Hutch just grabs his arm and then like I think he breaks his arm at the elbow, right? So like typically a scene like that, if they really wanted to go hard, they could have, but they didn't. So it's just like oh, he's really hurt. Like he probably broke the elbow, but it's not all the way backwards. It's just really fucking like it's broken. He can't really move the arm. No real like bone sticking out stuff, but it can be pretty rough because again, there's in comparison to like another part of the scene, he does put the knife into a leg, and once he gets some distance, he kicks the knife even further, and then the knife goes all the way through the leg. It's pretty rough, but like again, it's just kind of like a really fun. Well, I won't say fun, but it's a really cool action scene. That's what I'll say. But so yeah, the action is a lot rougher, but it's not as rough as Extraction. If anybody really worries or cares about that.
Yeah. It's that super blood and glory. I do appreciate the action in this movie, right? Like it looks less stylized, like John Wick's action, right? Because it's more of a sequence, right? Like this movie looks just more like pure action, but it's not like disruptive action like how Extraction has, right?
Yeah.
Right, because it's obvious for the way that the character's portrayed of Hutch, right? Like he's out of it, right? Like this, like he's like it's been years or so since he's done this, so we don't see like him being like in comparison to John Wick, where John Wick is more like sequenized, like everything leads to 1, 2, and 3, right? Like we see his character plays more around in the environment and everything. Right.
He's more like, well, with John Wick, he might have been out of it for a bit. He definitely wasn't slacking. Here it's more like, again, Hutch's character isn't slacking. Well, I mean, he keeps exercise, but he was. It's been a long while since he's been in the goddamn fight. Evidenced by his child, who is probably like 16 years old. So if anything, if we're judging it from that, he's definitely been out of the game for like 16 years. Still though, he didn't really lose too much if I'm being honest.
He's doing a lot, which I really appreciate to see Bob Odenkirk does, because I primarily knows him from Better Call Saul and everything, and The Simpsons, where he's been more of a comedic character from his acting, from what I see. Because Bob Odenkirk used to write for The Simpsons, and Conan and all that stuff. So seeing him in this role was such a juxtaposition than from what I know him from, right?
I mean, yeah.
Right, I was like, that's something you expect to see for him to be in.
Yeah,
you know?
But then again, I think it makes sense. Like, the thing is, it's been seen a lot, like, in the years. But like, comedy actors tend to be the best at drama sometimes. Usually, or if they're big enough, from what I've seen. Like, you get Adam Sandler, and he was great in fucking what do you call it, Punch Drunk Love, and what was the other movie that we were watching? Uncut Gems, right? He was fucking good in that shit. And then you get, like, Jim Carrey with, you know, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and other movies that I can't exactly name off the top. Oh, The Truman Show. That was a big one, too. There seems to be an interesting trend where, it's like, if a comedic actor, you know, who's known for their comedy, if they go ahead into more drama, they do really well. They do fucking surprisingly well, you know? And so, you know, I mean, I've never seen them turn action hero before, but, you know, I shouldn't be too surprised considering the track records we had with previous comedic actors. We can just include Bob Odenkirk in that list now, honestly.
Yeah, I really do appreciate him and everything, so it was fun. Watching this movie was pretty
great.
It
is really good. Do we have anything else to say other than that? I want to say...
Do you have anything else?
I can't say anything off the top of my head now. I mean, I'll just disrupt you from the outro if I think of something, and then we'll just go from there.
One thing my personal thing I do, I feel like the first act of this movie took fucking forever to set the story pacing of this movie, to get it to actually gear, because the movie really doesn't take place until he gets on the bus. Right?
Yeah.
And then the goons come in and harass the young woman. Almost, there's a scene in this movie where there's this guy reading a book, and the goon just comes in and knocks the book out. It's like they're some 80s, 90s television drama boys. That's fucking reading a book, right? The guy tries to picks it up, right? They just step out they literally act like some stupid 90s sitcom high school bullies. But I was like, wow. I was like, I felt like you could have done something better. It's just so fucking hilariously bad the goons were in this movie during that part. But one of my only faults that I didn't like in this movie when I was watching was I feel like the first act took forever, right? Like, you could have edited out. You could have edited out the part where his family gets robbed all the way up until the bus sequence, and this movie would have been the same, right? Because we already established that he already takes the bus every day to go home. You literally could have just cut out all of that sequence of footage, right? And it would have been the same.
No, I get what you mean. But I mean, it's especially when you kind of like, you're expecting the action. I think if like, you could have cut some time. This could have happened in the 15-minute mark. Because I say it's 30 minutes, but it takes around the 25-minute mark when the scene on the bus happens. But I mean, I understand what you mean. They really wanted to go through that whole everyone thinks he's a fucking loser and shit, right?
Yeah, but I felt like they could have easily had it shown way earlier in this movie, right? Because I felt like they were definitely prolonging it. Like they were definitely like trying to drag it down a bit. Like they were trying to I felt like they were trying to make it look more like you have the bottle shaken up and you're waiting for it to burst type of moment, right? That's why I felt that they were going. That's the reason why I didn't like this, because it really does drag on until, like I said, because the real movie really does not take place until 30 minutes in during the bus sequence. That's when the story pace actually picks up, right? I feel like they could have probably cut out some sequence that had this movie move along faster, right? But I definitely felt like they were definitely just having his anger, or not his anger, like his character's built up with his dread of life. You know? Yeah,
it's showing it in a way where like, oh yeah, you know, he's having a rough time with things. I mean, I think it helps. I mean, I think that was the beginning sequence was, honestly, where they were like, they do this whole thing where it's just like, oh yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? That kind of thing. I mean, at first I thought that was just like, oh yeah, they're just showing they're showing the monotony of his life, right? And that's how I interpreted it originally, until like later on we do see scenes that basically like, oh wait, this is just what was happening throughout the week for him, that they just repeat for some fucking reason. And so so that bit is definitely kind of confusing a little, because like I thought it was like I thought it was again a thing where it's like, oh yeah, his life is kind of boring and shit. It's like he's just really just not like in it. But then it's just like, well, while it is intended to show that, it's also like, oh yeah, these were the events that you'll be seeing throughout the movie. You just won't see everything in context yet, right? So I mean, it's a little bit of like, oh, okay, that's weird, but oh, okay, I guess you're trying to do both. It's a little off to me, the montage when.
Yeah, like I was a big fan of the pacing at the beginning. Yeah. Like I felt like they could have sequenced it a little better or shown other parts. Right, it definitely was a little slow in comparison.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but that was like my only real grip or part. Right, yeah. Like this, like the entire first act is so fine, right? Because they were trying to show him. They were definitely building out like this is the sequence he had to go through to get to this point. Right? Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, this is his life. Oh yeah, he's trying to get robbed. Everyone thinks he's a loser and all that stuff. So it does make sense. But I felt like, yeah, you probably could have cut this a little shorter. There's a lot of stuff you didn't have to have. Right?
I mean, the thing is, I understand what you mean, and I do kind of agree with that. Mainly because it's just like, you could like. They set up some stuff that is important and necessary, but I'm like, we didn't need to spend too much time on it, really. But yeah, I mean, aside from the how slow the first act is, everything else does kind of just really get you into it right after watching the bus scene, because the bus scene will bring you in, and then if you can make it to that point, and you will, because it's only like 25 minutes, honestly. Then the movie starts picking pace, and then it gets pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and then the movie picks up with this action, or rather, this is where the real plot of the movie starts happening.
Yeah, we had the inciting incident, and now we're moving forward with it, and now we can just enjoy the ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
More than that, that's really it. I really did like this movie. Like I said, seeing Bob Odenkirk in a role that I don't normally see him in, because I'm pretty sure Princess, I've never seen him in any like action sequence type of movie. I've only probably just seen him as a writer working on Late Night and all that stuff, or see him as playing Saul in Better Call Saul.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's really fucking interesting to see. He's really good in it. A lot more than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I was pretty much satisfied with the movie, and I would like to see more. But hopefully they don't end up going.
No, I do like to see where this, if they do, see where this franchise goes, because they did set up the world building with these characters. I like to see what he does as, right? Like I said, the only thing I would agree with you is I don't want to see it blown out of proportion with world building.
Yeah,
right?
Because
like they have subtle world building. They introduce these concepts like his character, but I really hope they don't just go over the top with this world building. Like, hey yo, this is the secret Cicada Society that exists, right?
Yeah, that's true. But hopefully it doesn't get to be too much. But maybe John Wick's been out, and this is clear inspiration from John Wick. So they'll probably learn from it, and then be like, okay, let's not do this. But who knows? Maybe they'll make new mistakes, and then we'll be like, okay, well, we're not there yet to the perfect action franchise, but we'll get there soon.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I really have to say. I don't have anything else to say at this point.
Yeah, me neither. I think I'm good on that.
All right. Is that the video?
That's the video. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, stay tuned next time as we talk about who's behind the cicadas in the Cicada Society.
Who's gonna be behind the cicadas?
Really controlling the cicadas? Someone is controlling the cicadas. They'll find out next time when we remember it.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, but who?
Yeah, because these videos are recorded in an order, but they're uploaded in a different order, alright? Just because we record this movie after this, just because we record this spoiler cast after this spoiler cast, doesn't mean that this spoiler cast is coming out before that spoiler cast.
Oh my god.
Right?
What the fuck?
The upload schedule on this channel makes no sense. Who knows when this video comes out? Hey, maybe by the time you listen to this, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics is taking place.
Oh my god. I'm so
Our favorite event we love talking about on this channel.
No, it's not. No, is it? Wait, is it? Is that when you're releasing? Oh God, I'm so confused.
I don't fucking know. Damn. I don't know what's going on with the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
Ah, God damn it, man.
Alright, that's it. That's the video, alright? Coronavirus still may or may not be a thing. Wash your hands, wear a mask, get your shots. Okay, thanks, bye.